Catheist says, what do you say about Destiny refusing to condemn Charlie Kirk?
Wait, he refused to condemn Charlie Kirk?
No, probably refused to condemn the killing of Charlie Kirk.
Well, that would make more sense, yeah.
Well, I actually unfollowed Destiny a while ago, although I had I had some tolerance and some love for how he was a long time ago. I have no idea what he's up to nowadays, but something really went wrong with him. At some point, he started going massively downhill, and just becoming completely wicked and messed up in things that he says. So I don't know what he said and did not say, but he's one of the people that I don't want to hear anything about nowadays. Very, very much an animal. Yeah. So anyway, David, you want to have a look at this stuff here? I first want to look at the.
One second, I'm telling my wife that she needs to find our son.
Cool. I first want to look at this clip here, put together by Nathan Milkbar, and then I want to look at the actual whole video context, because Andrew is a good guy. I know him, and this is an important conversation. Alhamdulillah. Let's see.
You were the closest to him. You knew him the best. You were the closest to him. You knew him the best. I'm just so sick of some of the misconceptions and things that people are saying online. And I just was like, you're the person to just let's get the truth out there. Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to mass. He was speaking about Mary. And typically when those steps start taking place, you stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian.
Now, I just want to take a second here and say, what the hell does that have to do with the conclusion that?
Well, obviously, dude, you don't know how their minds work. The conspiracy theorists. All you have to do is come up with anything. If you say Charlie was about to stop calling himself a Judeo-Christian, that's all you need to say the Jews killed him. That's all you need. So anything you can actually say.
Judeo.
Hey,
the thing is,
hang on. I just wanted to say very quickly, because I still see lots of people why you call them Judeo-Christian values? Why do you talk about Judeo-Christian? Guys, it's very simple, actually. And there's something very commonsensical about it. If you take a command like love your neighbor as yourself, that has been very important in Christianity, in the history of Christianity. But guess what? It's also in the Old Testament. So before Christians were ever saying it, Jews were saying it. And you take other things like believing that human beings are created in the image of God. That's been very important in the development of Western civilization. Guess what? It's also in the Old Testament. So the point of saying Judeo-Christian is some of these things didn't originate with Christianity. And so it's just kind of giving credit where it's due. This is a Judeo-Christian value. It's something Jews and Christians have shared. Imagine, I mean, put it this way. It reminds me of like when Andrew Tate quoted Candace Owens as saying, blessed are the peacemakers, right? Okay, Candace Owens did not come up with that, right? But imagine everyone started going around and just saying this is a Candace Owens value and this is something people would be like, well, wait a minute, people were saying that before Candace Owens. So anyway, it's pretty simple. I don't think you have to say Judeo-Christian. You can say loving your neighbor as yourself is a Christian value. That is completely correct, and so on. But I also don't have a problem saying Judeo-Christian, because that's what it is. It's a Judeo value and a Christian value.
The funny thing is also, pay attention to
when those steps start taking place, you stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian.
I've never heard somebody refer to themselves as a Judeo-Christian.
Yeah, I've never heard that either. I've heard of Judeo-Christian values and so on. I've never heard, hey, I'm a Judeo-Christian. What are you? What do you believe?
Judeo-Christian. Like I've heard lots of
Judeo-Christian
say and our united Judeo-Christian values, which I think there's nothing wrong with it. I have heard the West was built on Judeo-Christian values. I've never heard a single person refer to themselves as a Judeo-Christian. It's like, what are you? Oh, I'm a Judeo-Christian. what the hell does it even mean? I've never heard a single person say that ever.
Yeah, but I mean, based on the implication of everything Candace says, the Jews were like, hey, Bibi, just so you know, he's about to stop calling himself a Judeo-Christian. And Bibi's like, well, then we gotta push the button on assassinating him.
Take him out. It's just so ridiculous. Also, how do you jump from praying the rosary and talking about Mary? How is that? How then does that conclude in stopping or quitting to call yourself Judeo-Christian? Like,
yeah. Hey, and I mean, seriously, it sounds like what she's saying is, if you become Catholic, you're going to be more anti-Jew, and therefore you're going to stop calling yourself that. Because if you can take it from the expert, ladies and gentlemen, Candace Owens is saying once you go Catholic, you really stop liking Jews in any way, and you want to distance yourself as far from them as you can, and you want to start going with every deranged conspiracy theory on the planet.
The funny thing is that the Catholic Church is the largest, the biggest, the major church that did the first step of officially rejecting and condemning anti-Semitism and embracing something as, you know, taking Jews as our, as you know, as good people and as brethren and all that. So this is literally what the Vatican did in the
Not her church.
But she obviously doesn't follow the church. She follows something different. So it's kind of weird that she would connect that to Catholicism. The Catholic Church explicitly condemns any form of anti-Semitism and all that, and is actually very embracing of Jews in general. So very, very funny stuff. Very funny stuff.
She's posted a photo of her and Charlie and the kids in mass before, and somebody in the comment section said, oh, are you guys converting? And she said, no, we just like attending sometimes. So she herself had said no.
Yeah.
Was he becoming Catholic?
No. But he really loved Catholic mass. He had some really big theological hangups with that. You can go check the videos out, him debating with Michael Knowles, you know, in good fun. I mean, they were dear friends, but they loved kind of debating the whole Protestant versus Catholic thing.
The truth is that Charlie was under immense pressure.
So she obviously has this whole thing going on, which she and others started, that Charlie Kirk was about to convert to Catholicism. And then I also saw some people, by the way, very few people say, oh, he was also very interested in Orthodox Christianity. So I think he was changing. He was leaving Protestantism.
Yeah.
There was no indication of that at all. I think even on the day that he was murdered, he said that he's an evangelical.
You know what's messed up is like the hypocrisy here. Like, so Netanyahu mentioned Charlie and how much he loved Charlie and so on in that video that came out. She blasted away at that. How dare you try to use Charlie after his death to act like he's on your side and so on. And then what she do? He's about to become a Catholic. So why wouldn't you blame evangelicals? Why wouldn't you start suggesting evangelicals killed him? It's like the evangelicals around him are like, oh no, he's gonna this Charlie, he's the hero of young men everywhere. He's about to convert to Catholicism and then take everyone out of the evangelical church and make them all Catholics. We have to stop him.
It was Protestants altogether who conspired to kill him, apparently. Why not?
And he was facing financial threats over his shifting stance on Israel, over who he was hosting.
Because Turning Point was built
I hate the way she says Israel, man.
by Zionist money. Turning Point was built by the Israeli donors.
Charlie was a friend.
That's completely false, by the way.
He takes down the camera that is directly above where Charlie was sitting and would be able to provide, therefore, a lot of insight. And
This is one of those moments where you can distinguish an actual, real, honest, thinking person from a conspiracy mind. If you see footage, if you see a video where somebody's taking down a camera at the spot, Of course, you might ask yourself, wait a minute, why is somebody taking down the camera? Is this somebody meddling with the crime scene? However, you could also think, okay, I have to find out why it is being taken, and there must be an explanation to this, right? If you go the direction of, I have to find out why they are doing this, there must be an explanation to this, let me see what I can find out, and then you actually ask around and wait for an explanation, and you evaluate those explanations, that means you probably have a healthy, functioning, okay mind that actually is after the facts and after the truth. If, however, you see footage of somebody taking down cameras, and you're like, oh, they're taking down cameras, this must be because they're hiding something, because there's something else going on here, then you have a slightly dysfunctional, conspiracy-minded brain, and you shouldn't be trusted as a source of information. And that's exactly what Candace Owens is.
Above where Charlie was sitting and would be able to provide, therefore, a lot of insight. And then you can see he kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes the SIM card from it, or the SD.
And this was for what purpose? To
why could it be done?
Yeah. So is this because this person had the camera angle that's going to expose who really shot him, namely Rabbi Goldbergstein?
Like, just think about it. Instead of jumping to a stupid conclusion, think about what could be a reason why somebody would immediately go to the cameras and remove the cameras and take the footage out of them.
I would want that to give to the police to give evidence or something like that.
I would want it to happen, that if something like this happens, I would want a secure and reliable person to immediately go and secure the cameras. And
that seems obvious, right? I mean, in the immediate aftermath, you're going to be looking around for any evidence. You just leave it there all day?
Wait, did she just say SIM card?
He kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes the SIM card from it.
SIM card? That's what we use in our cameras, AP? SIM cards?
It's all right. She doesn't know anything.
Or the S.
Well, who are you going to believe, everyone? Us or the world's leading investigator?
SD card.
Why did our team start taking down cameras immediately?
That was because even in the shock, there was an understanding that the proximity of those cameras were going to be evidence, and they wanted to make sure that it didn't get stolen out of the cameras, but B, they didn't want anybody to run in. I mean, there was those videos of the kid running and grabbing the hats.
Yeah.
So there was an understanding. I mean, I talked to the team on that, and they said, because we know people can be evil.
So I'm wondering if the federal government has.
So you have a scene where there are multiple cameras, multiple different angles, and somebody is shot at the scene. The staff responsible for the cameras immediately goes out and goes to the cameras and grabs the cameras and removes the cards from those cameras and secures them. Later on, those are handed over to the police. This is done completely for the purpose of actually protecting the footage.
I have to say, if I had cameras running, I mean, we're at events all the time. If my camera was running, like suppose I'm not speaking or something like that, my camera's running and there's a shooting, my number one priority, apart from like immediate first aid or something like this, if that's covered, I am getting that footage. That's like rule number one. Matter of fact, when we used to go to places like Dearborn and so on, I had a set of rules for anyone who was going along with us, who was going to be bringing a camera or something like that. And I said, it was 3 steps. 1, check the dot, right? Because we have thought we were recording before, and we didn't check the red dot, and we actually thought we were recording when we weren't recording. That's happened various times. Check the dot, get the shot, guard the shot, right? And it's because you if something's happening, you want to check the dot to make sure you're recording. 2, you want to make sure if something's going down, someone's getting beat up, you need to be recording that, because that could be your only evidence if police, if say you did something you didn't do. And then guard the shot, meaning if people turn and see you got a camera and you have to ball up on the ground with the camera underneath you to protect that footage, you cannot let anyone else get that footage, because that is your only evidence. And so if you have to be balled up on the ground with people stomping on you, do not let that go, because they're going to change the story real quick, like if you can't prove what happened with video. So the idea that this is some great mystery. Oh my goodness, there are people going and getting the SD cards or SIM cards, as we've been corrected on. There are people going and getting the SIM cards out of the cameras. You see, it must be the Jews or the federal government trying to cover up what really happened. This woman is nuts, man.
Hey, what's going on in Denmark, man? In Denmark.
Nothing's going on in Denmark. Nothing has ever gone on in Denmark ever.
Denmark links drones at Copenhagen airport to hybrid attacks across Europe. Drones close to a Denmark airport for a second time in a week. Denmark. There's something weird going on in Denmark. Whatever.
Has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that.
Look at this stupidity.
Yeah.
Look at this stupidity.
They said because we know people can be.
Hang on. That is. She was. I thought people were making fun of her for saying that. I thought people were making that up just to mock. She actually said someone underneath. He's surrounded by people, and she thinks there's a gunman underneath him.
Know people can be evil.
So I'm wondering if the federal government has explored the possibility that somebody could have been under Charlie and done that while everyone's looking around and thinking that a shot went off from here. If that was just maybe like decoy number 2 and actually Charlie was shot from beneath him, maybe everyone's looking up when we should be looking below.
Right? You don't think it would sound different?
What I would expect is if I was a federal agent on the scene, if I was somebody on the scene, or involved in the investigation, and Candace Owens came up to me and said, "Hey, I'm wondering, have you guys ever considered the possibility that there was somebody under Charlie who actually took the shot and not somebody in the distance?" I would probably tell her, "Oh no, we never thought about that because we were all stupid. How about you come and do the job for us?" That's probably how I would react to her. This is a retarded woman.
That's extremely idiotic. That's the dumbest thing ever. I have to point out, if there's a lone gunshot that rings out, it's hard to tell where it came from, but you can tell which side of you it's on. Like I heard this from he was a Vietnam sniper, and I was asking him about the 1 shot, 1 kill thing that I saw in a movie and stuff. And he said, yeah, if you fire 1 shot, he goes, and people aren't expecting it, they don't know what's going on. You fire 1 shot, then all of a sudden they start looking around. If you fire a second shot, then they can sort of zero in on your location, because now they're paying attention and looking for where it's coming from. But the idea that these people are all gathered around Charlie, a shot comes from right beneath him and shoots him, and they all think it's behind them, is so, I don't know what to, like, how does
she's
anyone pay
insane.
attention to her?
She's insane. She's stupid. She's mentally retarded, and I think she really needs to just take a step back, delete her channel, put an end to her show. She's now getting sued brutally by the Macrons.
I have never rooted for French people ever in any situation.
But if she actually continues with it, she said she will not ask for the case to be dismissed. She then asked for it to be dismissed. She said she will not she will not settle or something like that. She will probably ask for that as well. If she actually goes through with that lawsuit, she will be crushed brutally. She will be crushed brutally. And I wonder if her dumb husband actually sits there and thinks, yeah, it's all right, just get sued. We have unlimited amounts of money. We'll just pay. We'll just pay for the defamation, for whatever you say. We'll just pay it all. It's all right. Just talk trash. Keep talking trash. It's all right. We'll pay all of it. We have endless money. I don't know what's happening there behind the scenes, but she just needs to stop, man.
Yeah, it is. I've said this before. It's something where people are under the authority of another organization. They can kind of keep the crazy controlled to an extent because their job depends on it. And then once they go out on their own with limitless cash behind them, then they can say what they want. And then you find out how crazy it goes. But then you've also got her fans. If you look when she posts something, we used to talk about this with Andrew Tate. Like, you manipulate your fans, but they control you in return, because their reactions tell you what you can get away with, and how you need to act and respond. If you look, she'll say like the dumbest, most insane thing anyone has ever said, and what do her fans say? Oh, see, you're Charlie's only true friend, Candace, because you're the only one doing this. You're a hero, a hero, a hero. The more insane she sounds, the more they praise her as a hero. And she's sitting here, hey, maybe Bibi Netanyahu was hiding under the ground in front of Charlie, and he shot him from underground. Why aren't they investigating that? What a freaking lunatic, man.
Erica, have full confidence that we got the shooter, the right shooter?
I think so. And I also think, I think we're waiting to see if there's more details that will follow.
That makes sense.
Who knew in advance? Who radicalized them? Was there a funding network? All of that stuff, I think, is fair and open-ended questions that we can keep asking.
Also, was anyone else involved?
I'm very aware that there are other theories of the case. There's a pretty high level of confidence that.
So Igor says, I'm telling you, this is all the government set up. This is, I for some reason, I don't know, maybe it's because I haven't live streamed for a while, but today I have a very, very low tolerance level for stupidity. You know what I'm going to do, Igor? Just for this comment here, I'm going to ban you forever from this channel.
Good.
In fact, anybody who in this chat, who from this point on, be careful, even if you're joking, and I don't see that you're joking, from this point on actually says, oh, Candace has a point. This is actually a government plot. I'm going to ban you permanently, I swear. Yeah. I really have zero tolerance about this kind of stuff right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what she said right after. I mean, bodies were not even cold yet. Right after the shooting at the Catholic school, where a trans individual went and shot students at the Catholic school. No information came out except there was a shooting at the Catholic. Candace instantly posted, this is a government setup. Don't let them steal your guns. It was one thing when you had like Biden in control, you want to say they're trying to take your guns, but now what? The Trump administration is having school shootings to take your gun. Like what? I mean, and she did this instantly. It's freaking nuts, man.
I imagine. I understand that for some people who are anonymous losers at home and who don't know anything. I mean, you're probably sitting in your mom's basement and just doing whatever you do for the whole day long, but you actually watch footage. You actually see footage of a man, a fantastic guy, being brutally killed on camera while his children are there watching, while his wife is watching. You see him get brutally murdered. For those who know him or don't know him, this is completely different. You see a man get brutally murdered, and you are in your home somewhere. You don't know anything about any of this. You have no connection to the guy, and you actually think, oh yeah, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to speculate about what actually happened. I don't trust the FBI. I don't trust the police. I don't trust camera. I don't trust government. I don't trust this. I don't trust that. I don't trust her. I don't trust his wife. I don't trust his loved ones. I don't trust the people that he set up as the people who run his company and all that. No, I actually know that there's something deeper going on here. I'm sorry, but do you realize what kind of a scumbag you are being to people who are actually close to that victim? Do you realize what kind of a scumbag you are to the family of Charlie Kirk, to the wife, to the children, to the loved ones, to his friends, to his best friends, to people that he himself appointed, who actually cooperate and work with the FBI and who are in it to try to figure out what actually happened. They want to find out what happened. They wanted to catch the killer, but in the first days after it happened, there was a storm of thousands of people online distracting from what actually happened by creating conspiracy theories. You have a wife that is dying inside, that just saw her husband, her beloved husband, be brutally shot and killed on camera. She's dying inside, and she wants the authorities to find out what happened and you are sitting there and actually obstructing justice by creating stupid conspiracy theories because you are a loser and you have nothing else going on in your life.
Make the call, AP. Well, the FBI definitely covering up what happened that day.
Block.
Gotcha.
Banned. Here's somebody else. Wait, she's an actress at Hal Clipper. Banned.
How's that feel? You guys like that? You like how that feels? It's what we do to Candace fans. Gosh, you guys are dumb.
Right.
Can you imagine that? like, okay, guys, I have no doubt various governments do some messed up stuff from time to time, maybe take some people out, but in this situation where you got a means, motive, and opportunity, and guy running and jumps off the roof, family turns him in. Is there a situation where someone could actually do something and you wouldn't blame Israel or the U.S. government? Like, what evidence would you need? Put it this way: the more evidence you have, the more you just say it's a government plot. Like, you could actually have video footage of him before the attack going, guys, I can't take this Charlie Kirk guy. He's really raging me. I can't stand it. He's so anti-trans. Here's me getting ready. Here's me getting ready with I want the world to know this. Here's me with my rifle. Oh, here's me, selfie style, on the way to do the shooting. Here's me carrying out the shooting. What would they say after all that? You see, it's Netanyahu or it's the U.S. government.
Yep.
Freaking morons, complete lunatics.